Welcome to BeforeNow podcast. My name is Bliss Akinyemi, but I prefer that you call me Missy. Missy is spelled M-I-C-I and pronounced M-I-S-S-Y. Pardon me, I have a terrorist on the show
calm
today.
down.
If this is the first time you're listening to the pod, you're welcome. BeforeNow podcast is a weekly talk show where my guest and I discuss different subjects of life in relation to how we used to see them. This is how we see them now. You should have given me the heads up. I said, Bliss, so it's the terrorism part of me that will be activated today. So as you all can see, today's conversation, as sensitive as it is, I'm sure you've seen the title. We have already started fighting on the pod now. We've not even started talking about why we are here. Okay, so I know I already promised you an amazing guest on this show every time, but this week, it shocked me because I did not realize I have a terrorist.
Amazing.
You are what?
I am beautiful.
Oh my God, just hold it like that.
Cute.
My guest for today is Precious Ibeh, brand strategist, graphic designer, public speaker, content creator, and a co-podcaster. Let's have terrorist in the name.
Say co-podcaster? As if...
Can we proceed? Can we just have this conversation already?
Let's continue.
Okay, so today we are discussing ghosting and cutting off friends.
Ghosting and cutting off friends?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I would have said welcome on the show, but you already brought yourself in already. So let's just talk about it.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah.
Before we start. Hi guys. Now let me talk. She did not do justice to my introduction. My name is Precious Ibeh. I'm a fine boy.
Oh God. You're single. I would tell them you're single.
Chill.
I think you're going to add that part as well.
No, I'm a fine boy. I'm a baby boy for life. I chop life for a living.
Are you serious right now?
No, they need to know.
Kidding me?
They need to know so when I'm telling
I was trying to. This is what you say like every damn time. Every time I've met you, said I'm a fine boy. Why do you say it all the time? God. Bottom line is Precious is single. It says that every damn time, and the status has not changed. I'll be praying for you, bro.
You do know that. You do know that this podcast is like going on the internet forever. Imagine I listening to this podcast 10 years later.
You will know you were single as at the time it was recorded. Don't worry.
Okay,
It's
okay.
It's all right. So let's get straight into the conversation.
Okay.
Precious.
Hi.
First question. Do you ghost people?
Well, I'll say yes and no.
Do you ghost people? Yes or no?
See, I'll say yes and no.
Why?
One, because for starters,
yes.
How do you even define ghost? Because I'm saying, if you say I'm ghosting someone now, define your own ghost. Let me know.
We are going to get there.
Okay.
In the general sense of the word,
ghost.
Do you ghost people? Like when people say, you ghosted somebody, or you ghosted me, or I've been ghosted. Do you feel like you do?
The thing is that I'm actually alive and well, and I'm on the surface of the earth. So why should I claim the characteristics of a non-living thing? Are you with me now? So why will I claim to myself that oh my God.
So for me, ghosting people would mean avoiding them.
Avoiding people?
Yes. I mean, just like doing Usain Bolt and them, like leaving them stranded and all of that when they need me, most especially. Me not being available and all of that. So do you do that?
Okay, I think this podcast will actually be very good for me. When it drops, I'll post it on my status. So people who are always saying Precious is ghosting me, when they listen to it, they'll be like, and this guy is not ghosting me.
Okay.
Now let me be very honest with you.
Yeah, let's get
although I'm a very social person, which you should already be able to tell as you're listening to the podcast.
How will they be able to tell?
Obviously,
obviously what?
Hi, my name is Precious.
I'm very God, social. Let's get back to let's get back to what we're saying.
So although I'm very social, jovial, and I talk to people a lot, I'm a terrible texter.
Okay.
Like I'm very bad at texting.
Okay.
So,
but do you do phone calls?
I do phone calls, but the thing is, let me continue my story.
Continue.
So, although I'm very good at conversations, I'm a terrible texter, and the whole genesis of ghosting, if you want to be honest, starts from WhatsApp messages. You saw my text, you did not reply. Let's say that's the basis or the most common type of ghosting.
Before you go to WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is more recent, I would like to talk about like way before now, way before WhatsApp and all of that.
Okay.
Was there ever a time that you looked at yourself and you're like, okay, I must have ghosted, or I must I must have cut off somebody or something like that?
Yes, actually, if I'm being honest, yes.
When would that be?
I think that would be when I was like, say, younger, like a lot younger, probably secondary. Every guy should be able to relate to this my scenario.
Wow.
You like this babe.
Revelation.
Secondary school days. You like this babe, you like her a lot. You guys start talking. She still does not like you. She still does not like you. Then she eventually starts liking you. And then boom! One stupid switch in your head just goes boom, and you now
ghost.
like you don't like her again as you used to.
Why would that be? Hold on. Is it because it took you a while to actually
I feel I don't want to talk for every guy, but I feel we just have this, can I say, hunter mentality.
Wow.
I'm talking about my younger self.
Yes.
Because then it was secondary school there. So when this babe now finally likes you, and then you're like, nah. And there was always a new babe in class, a final babe in class. Yep. So there was always another, can I say, conquest? Do you get? So,
wow.
So I think I did do that in secondary school a couple of times.
Ghosting babes?
Yes.
Like ghosting babes?
Not babes, come on.
That's what you just said. You legit just said.
The way you're saying it makes it sound like I'm ghosting like, say, 15, 20, 30. No, come on. All right, no.
But just about 5 babes, like 10.
The Lord be with you. But then I think that did happen in secondary school.
Okay, for me, I think I'm not that kind of person. I said it on the last episode of the pod. I still have friends from primary school, from secondary school. I know how to like carry people along and just if it comes
to cut off from my own end, I don't necessarily cut off people.
Before, we're still talking about before. We'll talk about what you're doing now, but before.
So, if I was looking back at then, I was always this, or I am still this very friendly person. So I don't necessarily cut off people. Do you get? Because I always know we would see again, or
like human beings water.
There are lots of Yoruba and Nigerian proverbs I have issues with, but this is not that day we'll talk about it.
But then human being is water. Yes.
How can
human being be water?
Well, scientifically, we are made up of, I think, 70% water. So in a way, that is correct.
Human being is water. Yes.
So then I was always the very cheerful, carefree guy. So I did not necessarily see the need to cut off a person.
Okay.
Right? I necessarily did not see the need. It would just be out of sight, out of mind. So I'm not seeing you, so we're not talking. But when we see, we're always talking.
Bond again.
So I'm not the you broke my eraser, you stole my this thing, we'll not talk to you again. Like malice or this, it was never a thing for me. Nah.
For me, if we talk about, because I was a social person, it looks like I really wasn't cutting off people. I took my time to actually think about it when I was preparing for this episode. So I kept asking myself, am I really certain that I never cut off somebody and I never ghosted somebody just because? But I think I did. I did, because I know one of the things that made me do that then was a couple of misunderstandings, and there were things that I feel like we could have spoken about.
Were you like secondary school?
Secondary school, like secondary school, post-secondary school. Yes, especially like somebody says something and you heard about it, and instead of you to just like go ahead and say something about me or something, you just take it out exactly, and then I'm just like done talking to this person. Or if say we're in the same class and we have things to do together, so what I would do then was avoid you, like just relate with you when it is necessary and very important. Say we are going to food and nutrition class together, so I'm going to go with you, but inside of me, I know that I'm done with you. Like that used to be it for me.
The inside of you is like Kotoaye. It's very
very deep.
You're focused on to food and nutrition class. Well, I think it's Kotoaye that like it's inside you. See, no. Actually, yes. I get what you said.
Exactly.
Now, if we talk about hearsays, see, I've already had this in mind that I'll make a podcast episode about unpopular opinions about myself. Because growing up, oh my jeez, there are lots of Precious is this. Sometimes when people talk to me about me, I'm always like,
is that me? Is that me?
You're talking? No. Because I'm always left aback. Like, I'm left asunder. I'm left be wild, be reading.
What are you saying?
It's see, when you say some words with emphasis, whether they make sense or they don't make sense.
Oh my god.
Oh mama, it be hitting. You get what I'm saying now?
I don't get you.
So sometimes when I even hear these things about myself, it always gets me like, oh, this Precious not bad boy. Like if he did all these things, because I know I didn't even do any.
Yeah.
So by hearsays, obviously.
Of course, because that was like what I had to, the conclusion I had to reach. Like, okay, even if I was so much of a jovial socialite and all of that, I know that there were times. True. I mean, one of the craziest times for me, something happened and when I was preparing
super story.
Would you let me be?
I can actually sing too.
So I know that I was preparing for my senior YA then, and there was this tutorial I was attending, and we had a lot of people there, and I was like the only babe in the class that was preparing for senior YA. There was just 1, just 2, just 3, but in SS3, like those of us I was the only person that was there, and we were just like 6 of us, but we're not. It wasn't a lot of us.
Yeah, that's better.
And then I was out on the street one night, and people were just talking like, please, like everybody was just like, you're feeling bad for me or feeling sad for me. In my head, I was not like, who died?
What
like,
happened?
shele.
Yeah.
So by the time I was going to find out, I heard that somebody said something happened during the lesson, that something, some immoral act happened, and I was mad.
And
I had to go there. And this time around, I even confronted the person because I didn't want a misunderstanding. The guys in my class were the ones that came up with everything they had to say. And I went there and I said, exactly.
Masculinity.
Exactly. So I got there and I was like, hey, you said so, and they were just like being masculine and toxic about it, and they just wanted. So I just stopped talking to them. I kept on going to that tutorial, but it was like, you dare not talk to me. So from there, I didn't even ghost them because I just cut them off. I cut them off, and it's like an eternity thing. I don't hate them and I don't feel any bitterness towards them right now, but I know that happened. You want to say something?
From what you said now, technically you people were not even friends to start with.
We weren't, but there were people I had stuff to do with. I had to take classes with them. We were in the same space.
Now let's equate it to friends. Now, a lot of people have this mindset that if a friend offends you and then they apologize,
you should let it go, let it slide.
Like, do you know, as relationships end, friendships also end too. But people don't come to this realization. If you are my very good friend and then you do something to hurt me and I forgive you, I can choose not to be friends with you again.
That is where we are going now, because that's what we have to talk about. How are we dealing with it? It looks like you and I did not really do much of ghosting, or what we consider to have been ghosting, since a lot of people then were not even like real friends, or they were just like relationships that circumstances put us into. Say somebody you were taking classes with, for crying out loud, they were not necessarily your friend.
How would I even have ghosted someone then?
Sure you get. So let's talk about now, because now
this is the story of a brother.
Can you be serious?
That is a very serious.
Did you just do that? So for real, right now, what is ghosting like to you? Do you ghost like with your full chest, or you ghost and you pretend and you go, it's the network or it's the blah blah blah, and you come up with excuses like I'm not a texter, or like, I mean, just all this, like this
for
stuff.
For starters, let me just use WhatsApp as my case study. Yeah, on WhatsApp. I'm coming on. This is an audio podcast, so people will not see this thing I'm showing Bliss. but Bliss, what's here?
Okay, that's like 400 chats.
400 on red chat.
Yes.
I cleared this thing yesterday night.
Okay.
Jigger. So that's 401. Now, what I do with my was up, as our older folks to call it, is that I have business that I need to attend to. So I pin it. I pin those chats. Okay, this one is business. I have to be seeing it every time, right? I do that. That's one. Secondly, my WhatsApp read receipt is off. It has been off for the longest of times. So that alone is also a factor. You are telling me I'm ghosting you, but you sent a message to me today, and before I could even reply, you have replied with 4 BCs. By any standard, I would not even see the message. That's one. Another thing is, most of these unread chats, probably they are just, I say, probably you replied with LOL or okay or fine or thanks.
What should I say after thanks?
After LOL, am I supposed to say LOL Pro Max? LOL you too? Or what am I supposed to say?
Or thanks to you too. Like, then you thanks, you're welcome. You're welcome to a what?
So that's one. And secondly, I don't sleep early. But any night I fall asleep, like say 8 or 9 p.m., which is rather early, any chat that comes in from that time and I wake up in the morning, it would have already been buried under lots of other messages. So I might necessarily not see it. Why there's some people that I know I'm ghosting?
You know, deep within you with your full chest.
I know, because one, I know the chats are necessarily not going to lead anywhere. When I mean necessarily not lead anywhere, it's not as if I'm saying some chats are not important or stuff. But then there's some people I just know that
small talk.
Yeah. Not even small talk per se, because funny things, some small talk we just have hi, what's up, and then it will just go to, sorry, can you help me with this design, which is money. But there's some people that I can say their energy does not match my energy. Now
that's the serious.
Now as a person, I'm growing, right, and I'm evolving. The person I was last year is not the person I am this year. The person I was in January is not the person I am today. So I'm growing, and I'm very intentional about my growth. So there's some people that I know that this growth process, you are definitely not going to help me.
Yes.
And one thing that a motivational speaker said to me in secondary school, and I've still been living by it till this day: don't waste time doing things that add no value to your life. Right now, although you might not necessarily get value immediately, you might definitely get value in the future, in the long run. Do you get? So there are some people that I know that as I'm growing up, right, they are not growing. Do you get? So if I'm going like this and I've gotten to this height, and this person is not moving here, and the person is dropping. Now, if I still want to keep in contact with that person, I'm also going to come down to do that. Do you get? Yes. So I know they are not beneficial for like my growth, and it's only normal I try to stay away. Do you get? And there's some people I've blocked too on WhatsApp.
That's cutting them off.
Because I'm done with you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Keep your energy away from me. Now, let me just use this reference. Sometimes in secondary school, there's this friend of mine. He's my classmate. This guy, whenever he texts me or call me,
like after secondary school or
during secondary school and like say a year after secondary school.
Phone in secondary school.
I've been using phone since. Do you know when Mortlinks came out?
I had a Mortlinks too.
I had Starcoms. Starcoms came before Mortlinks. I had the Starcoms. I had the Mortlinks. So in secondary school, if I see his call, I know he was calling me to my play PS2. Like I was sure. Like there's nothing else
he would call you for.
And the thing is, I'm good. So I'm always going to beat. I don't know if you know how games work, but if you're a guy listening to this, you definitely relate. You get? So he will come to come and play loser pay, right? So loser pay, for our beautiful ladies who do not understand, is we play the game, which is obviously football. Yeah. So the loser pays for himself and for the winner.
Wow.
Do you get? So because it was football and I was obviously better, I would score 3 own goals. Do you get? So he will be leading 3 because I scored 3 own goals. And I'll still beat him. Do you get? So I know the kind of relationship we have. And when I left secondary school, I tried to outgrow
that relationship,
those stuffs, because I know it was not beneficial. This was the only thing we'd be doing, and it was not helping me.
Because so you're saying that after secondary school they were still stuck playing games?
Yeah. Whoa. Do you get? So, and at that point it was not becoming an addiction to me.
Okay.
Do you get? So I needed to stay away. So in order to stay away, I had to stay away from them too.
Okay.
Do you get? So it was a combo package.
To break away from the addiction, you had to break away from them
those friends.
As well.
So I knew I was playing too much games. And at the point, I haven't had a game in the house before it's spoiled and another one spoiled. So it was just getting too much. Okay. So I knew I needed to break away from playing too much games. Yes. So hence, those friends who would make me play those games, I had to like break away from them.
For me, presently, where I am at is...
No. Where you at now? You have money. Money.
Why are you talking like this
now? Visit me, bye.
God's up now. Don't
money.
do like that. But where I currently am at is the place where I'm not necessarily cutting people off. But I said it on the last episode of what I am intentional about the relationships I have with people. So as a result of being intentional, some things just like you said, some things are just falling off. Like you just have to shed somewhere. If you want to sculpt your body and you want to have like a very nice shape and everything, you're going to lose something, some weight and all of that, depending on how you go about it. Even if it's just by dieting or exercising, you're still going to shed some stuff off, and that is where currently I am at. Now, for me, I think we need to talk about being ghosted.
Being ghosted.
Yes, and being cut off, being on the receiving end of ghosting and being cut off. You know, it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm cutting people off, but then when
I've been there. You, it's not really the easiest of things.
Exactly. So how do you take it? How do you react to that? If you just wake up one day and somebody has blocked you, or somebody no longer responds to your messages, this is not even somebody that you're asking for a favor or something. This is just somebody you want to have random talk with, and you text them or you call them and they're not picking, and then how do you take it? Have you been there before?
Okay, I'm going to use then and now. So then, when I was a lot younger, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but then there was one babe that I gave 100 and I think 130 or 160, somewhere between 130 and 160.
130 what?
Missed calls.
Wow.
Like,
oh my god.
Missed my call. Like
my god.
Oh my jeez.
Oh my god. You were such a pest.
I tell you.
No, I think you're still a pest. I only complimented you. Remember, I said nice DP and you sent me 54 pictures of yourself. Why did you do that?
Well, in my defense, my DP was fine and I felt you could do with more pictures. So
54 pictures.
Bro, my gallery
are you like
is
narcissistic or something?
My gallery is like over 20k pictures and I sent you just 54 and you're complaining.
So you should have sent me like 1,000 for me to... Are you okay? So go back to this 130 missed calls.
See, the thing is, that day of the 130 missed calls,
I don't understand. Like, how long did it take you to put that call together?
Let me tell my story.
Jesus.
So that day of the 130 missed calls, what happened was, extra cool.
Okay, I know extra cool. I did extra cool.
I know. Why would you not do extra cool? Low credit. You don't want to buy credit. You do extra cool.
That was not it. Our mummies were sleeping then. That was what happened. Our mummies were sleeping. And we were perfect at whispering. That was what happened. Oh my god.
So that day of 130 missed calls, I was Jesus Christ.
As in, I'm looking at you and
it's not my proudest moment, but I just
you have to talk about it.
I've not even said this on my own podcast, but then This premium content. If you are hearing it, premium content. So it happened that like I called in the evening, right? And we had a very good conversation. And I was as at that time, I was still a very good conversational person. So if we want to talk about anything, I think I remember that evening. That was when in Lagos, Ambode just wanted to enter. No, was it Ambode or Fashola? I can't remember.
Okay,
but it was,
you say you remember, now you say you don't remember.
No, I'm like, these ones are just sub stories. So either Ambode or Fashola. Okay. So we're not discussing, Lagos, Fashola is the person, or Ambode, I'm not sure. Let's just say Fashola. So Fashola is the person, blah, blah, blah. We spoke about that for like close to 1 hour, 30 minutes.
You guys were discussing politics for like an hour.
Yeah, and it was my credit. So she was not like, you know what, let's call it a night, but we should do extra cool that night. So little me, who was madly in crush, I'm not saying no, who was madly in crush, I was not like, this is extra cool.
So you didn't even sleep. You were looking at the clock. You're just
Bro,
waiting.
I called. Oh my God.
What was going through your head when you were calling somebody 130 times?
I just wanted her to pick. I don't know.
It.
I just wanted her to pick. See, and she didn't pick. She didn't call the next morning. I called the next morning. She was like, I missed your call. And I was like, can we punish you? For me? I didn't say it, but I was.
That was the feeling. You were feeling the God will punish you.
She was like,
your eyes are almost red right now.
This is an emotional story for me.
Oh my God.
Like, she was like, I miss your calls. Sorry. I was like, oh my God. So
you were calling somebody 130. I'm trying to get it. You didn't even think, okay, what if this person's phone is silent?
This episode that I just said, it's part of a longer story.
Okay, no problem.
Which let's
just focus.
This episode and the longer story with that same person was part of what revolutionized Ebo, was part of what like made me into the kind of guy I am today. Do you get? So like I don't expect a lot from people.
Okay.
Do you get? So
I don't understand. Just because somebody didn't pick your one.
No. That's what I said is a part of a bigger story.
I get it.
So it made me understand self-worth. Yes. It made me become a better conversation person. Because when I was like talking to that person, I was always like so that was like the most peculiar ghosting.
And okay, so like after that time, you guys never really spoke again, or what?
We spoke, but it was just hi, hello, and
that was it. That was how that relationship, that friendship, or whatever ship it was died.
Yeah, that ship died.
That ship sank.
So, but this Mumumi, after this missed call, I still continued
calling that person.
No, like I still tried. Okay. I still kept on with faith and stuff.
But now, how do you receive ghosting, being ghosted?
To be very honest, sometimes I don't even know if you are ghosting me. If I'm being very honest, for instance, like, if you block me, I will not even know. If you block me, I will not even know unless I want to like reach out to you for something or so I would not particularly know if you block me. But if I text you, first off, that's why I say I'm using WhatsApp as
your case study.
So if I text you and you don't respond, I would believe you have not seen my message because my
even
receipt is off.
Exactly.
Do you get? So as I said, I don't really expect much. Do you get? How I live my life is hope for the best, plan for the worst. So if it happens, fine. So technically, I don't have many friends, although I know a lot of people. Yeah. I have very few friends, and I can count my friends with my fingers. Yeah. I can friend. This is my friend, my best friend, my this friend, my friend. I can count all of them. So these people that I call my friends, if I call them, they can see my miss. Even though it is 1 a.m., they'll come back. What happened?
Yeah, you get?
So those are the only people who probably I would get annoyed or feel bad if they don't pick my call.
Expectations based on the relationship that you have.
But every random person, you ghost me, you ghost me for yourself.
Okay, I think that for me, I would also say that a lot of times people generally like the reason why we see a lot of things as ghosting or being cut off is because the relationships were not even defined in the first place. Somebody would really
That's true.
Somebody would really ghost you or cut you off, and you wouldn't be able to address it just because you don't even know what you guys were in the first place. Now, if you stop talking to me and you're my very good friend, I should be able to come up to you and say, hey, what's up? Hey, I've been trying to text you, you're not responding to my text. Hey, I've been calling you, you're not responding to my calls, and all of that. I sent you an email and blah blah blah, or I sent somebody to you and you didn't even respond.
True.
That's because the relationship is defined. The person will now be probably very meant to not want to talk about it when I am trying to. Now, it would be easy to say, oh, I really don't want to talk to you. It's going to hurt me. I'm going to feel bad, but at least that is response. That's feedback from you. Now, I think not having feedback is what hurts. If you already know where you stand with somebody, you're trying to reach out to somebody, the person is not responding, and they tell you, see, I don't want to talk to you. Okay, I have conversations with a couple of people sometimes, and you say something that hurts me in the moment, and then I puff and I just zone out, and then you're trying to have further conversation, and the next thing I tell you is, hold on, please, I'm trying to gather my thought. That thing you said the other time, you didn't sit down well with me, so I'm trying to gather my thought. I do that like a lot. Sometimes I just keep quiet. I think I had an issue with one of my friends one time that he was really expecting me, for the sake of our friendship, because according to him, he wanted me to say something. But for me, I didn't have anything to say in that moment.
Yeah.
And I had to keep quiet because, okay, me trying to say something just so that you can hear something would definitely have caused a lot of trouble. So you need to understand where you stand with people. You need to know what relationship you exactly have with people. I have friends, I keep saying it, I have friends that if I call...
As you mentioned relationships, shout out to people who are dating me without my knowledge. All the best to you.
Oh my God. Where have we landed?
I'm not even capping. Someone be like, Precious, I saw your babe. I was like,
which babe?
Obviously, because I know. And it goes, I'm like, we are dating? So, shout out to people who are dating without my knowledge. The Lord be with you.
Well, maybe when they bring groom price, you understand. But for real, think based on this whole conversation, I understand. People fall out every now and then. This is something that we, as we grow up, we need to understand. We need to be able to accept that people are going to fall out of love with you. They are going to fall out of likeness with you. You are going to be no longer beneficial to them. People are going to get tired of you. People are not going to want you in their space again. People are going to have a new clique of friends that you don't belong to or that you do not fit into.
And you start feeling bad.
You don't need to feel bad. It's going to hurt you. Now, one, because you probably have shared a lot of moments with these people. You have loads of pictures. Google is going to tell you this time last year. Google is going to 1 year ago today. Google is going to do that.
Mentioned Facebook.
So, I mean, all of these things are going to happen, but you really need to accept that while people are ghosting you or while people are cutting you off, you also are cutting people off.
Very true.
You're growing.
Very
so
true.
You need to be able to understand the fact that somebody is a bad guy in your books does not mean that you're not a bad guy in somebody's book. True. So please, if you listen up to this point, I believe you had a reason to stick around, listen to us.
The reason is my voice.
Are you joking right now?
It's my voice.
What's in your voice?
My voice, my persona, my personality.
Anyways, thanks for listening up to this point. I really, really do appreciate you guys sticking around and coming back. I'm sure you obviously like listened and you're like, oh my God, who is this guy talking to Bliss and Hall? And now you're rolling your eyes and like, oh, this guy, I know. Just chill. You can always just listen to my podcast. Yes, you can listen to Precious's podcast. How did they get your podcast to cry?
The thing is, just chill. Season 2, hot.
So yeah, but where can they find it and what's the podcast? But they can listen to the season 1.
You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
What's the name of the podcast?
These are. Let me first. Shabi, you say you have your online. Let me say my online.
Okay, sorry.
You can find my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Cast, Radio Public. The thing is many. Just type The Precious Ibeh Show.
The Precious Ibeh Show. What's that?
It is plentiful.
What's that?
Who is he that uttereth it is not plentiful?
It's Abdul. So thanks for listening. Follow the pod on social media. It's at BeforeNow Podcast on Facebook and on Instagram. And personally, you can find me on Instagram at Missy Blissy. Missy Blissy spelled
I know you spell it. I was waiting. I was patiently waiting for you to spell it. Like,
you have a problem with me,
if
bro.
If you are listening to the podcast and you cannot spell this name, come on, we're supposed to flog you. She spells it every. Spell it again for them.
Missy Blissy spelled MICIBLISSY. On Facebook, it's at Bliss Akiyemi. Till the next episode, I want you to ask yourself, what happened before now?